Good evening, people. Welcome back to BNR. I hope you enjoyed the game today, but
Wow.
we'll talk about the game shortly. But welcome, it's BNR. We're 15 minutes late. I can assure you there's a legitimate reason for that, but we have to hold our hands up when we're late. We're late. We have to be punctual, and it's only disrespectful to our chat. But 15 minutes is bad. 5 minutes is okay. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay. But here we are. We saw plenty of goal
Jay,
scorers
Jay,
tonight. Shut
Jay,
up. Shut up.
don't talk
Shut
about
up.
anyone
You
tying
don't
their
host.
bills today.
You don't
Do not
host.
talk about anyone tying their bills. Look at you lot today.
Avi, why are you jealous, man?
Avi,
Why are you
Avi,
jealous?
Avi, Avi,
How's it so
Avi,
white? We only saw
Avi.
you on Sunday. We only saw you on the screens on Sunday.
Oh, my battery's gone. My battery's gone. My battery's gone.
That's why,
I
Avi,
can't. I can't
you're
make
a
it.
right
Yeah.
basket. You know that. Kasper,
Oh,
Well, we
you
were
can't
late.
take it.
We were late,
sorry,
and
yeah.
as Jay says, there was nobody dyeing their beard, especially Chin.
Listen,
Chin,
later,
you should be.
Avi, Avi,
What's that brand? Good for men. You
just for
should be
just
an
men.
man.
Just for
ambassador
men.
for them, man.
Oh, that ain't
Bro,
working, mate. I'm telling
I've got
you.
about 10 I've got about 10 upstairs. I said, man, just cut me lazy again. It can't be asked.
Follow,
But on a
follow.
serious note, Avi, is this the only, you thought, you know what? You thought I'd get a dig in there early. It's the only time I'm going to land a punch, yeah? So I might as well,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
get him a,
No, I could never land a punch.
land one
That's
right
fine.
now.
You are my master. Mastery.
But anyway, what's going on, lads? Did you watch the game? It was a good game, I thought.
It was a good game. I think it was a good game considering City are where City are, and Madrid doing what they usually do in the knockout stages, slow starters. But they're just like Australia and the cricket, as in these big tournaments, they just come and start performing in the knockout stages. I think it'll be fairly one-sided at the home tie at the Bernabeu. So I think
Mm.
Madrid will comfortably go through. But yeah, these where they start notching it up a level, don't they? Mbappe now, that's his 25th in 34. So he's settled now. And Jude had a slow start to the season, but that's his 10th goal of the season, and I believe it's his 11th assist as well. He's got 11 assists to his name as well. So
You
yeah,
said
it's been
who's this Jude or
Jude,
Mbappe?
Jude.
You ruled him out at the start of the season.
I said I would like to talk about Jude in about 2-3 years, but
Can we
look,
talk about Jude now?
yeah, of course he's he's performing at a
Oh,
high level. I don't mind that. Look, me doubting a player, that's just in my opinion. But look, I'm happy for these players to chuck egg and me to eat humble pie. Same with Harvey Elliott. I don't dislike the player. You know, I want the player to work, but it's just my opinion that I don't see him as a future Liverpool player. That's fine. But yeah, Madrid were fantastic, and Camavinga, a big shout out to him. There's a story
oh
with Liverpool and when he was at
wow.
Rennes, but I don't want to talk about it today. But yeah, Camavinga, what a talent! Multi-dimensional, width fixer, spread fixer, whatever you want to say, Asim. Every word that you can think of under the sun, he is that. He is him.
Jay says Asim 100% is on just for men. I can categorically say that. Look, this is just good genes. Honestly,
What about Papa
It's
Mahmood and
my,
Papa Mahmood?
with me, I'll be honest with you, it's evil eye in it. I've got Asim and flipping Avi. Yeah, giving me the evil eye all the time. Yeah, that's what it is. I've got the evil eye on me, man. And
Jay is
heck
just
no,
good
yeah.
genes, and I commend my dad for that.
Even though Gina's got a white beard, he's got the baby. He's the baby face of all three of us. He actually
Yes.
has got a baby face. We don't.
Yes.
He's actually got a baby face. So it's a weird one with Gene. God knows which genes he carries, but yeah, he must carry some.
Gene, did you watch the game? I thought it was a good game. Football heritage, just like Jose says, it brings you mentality, but it also brings you goals as well. I thought.
And it brings you a lot of luck, Asim. Come on, man. They had looked
You
at
have
two.
to make your
Come
own
on,
luck.
yeah.
It
I
can't
get
be
that,
luck
but
every
two
year. Gene.
shocking mistakes, man.
It can't be
Yeah.
luck every
Look,
year.
okay, I get it. No, I'm not having a go at them. Look, yeah, they're an unbelievable side when it comes. And Avi mentioned it perfectly. When it matters, these boys turn up, and they know exactly how to turn up and how to win a game. And you got to give the Real Madrid a lot of credit. But I thought today, even though I know the first half they missed a few chances, Mbappe, lucky ricochet goes in. Then you've got the bloody keeper mistake for the second one. And then you've got, the Rico Lewis mistake for the third one. Yeah, look, they did, they won the game. But yeah, you do make your own luck. But come on, 3 goals like that, you sometimes think luck is definitely on your side today. But look, fair play to them. You've got to give them credit. You mentioned they do it every year upon year, especially over the last 7 or 8 years. It's just the way it is. And but it was a good game. I thought City did well after they scored the first goal to go ahead. And then that
Mm.
goal from Mbappe obviously put a slight dampener on things. But I think the tie's done, if I'm honest with you. I think they're done. And to be fair, Sim, I actually watched the PSG game prior
Yeah.
before
We
that.
scouting. We scouting.
Because, obviously there's a chance that, they're the ones that we're going to face. And
I think they will be the team that we face. Yeah.
Huh?
if they are, I'm telling you, they're not the PSG of 4 to 5 months ago. They're a proper side now. Dembele, man, he's in the form of his life. They've signed KK as well. They're a prop and they look good. Vitinha, all these players, they're proper footballers. And if we do get them, it's going to be an unbelievable tie. Ideally, I'll miss out on them, if I'm honest. And if we do miss out on them, Barca get him. So then it looks good. But you know what? If we do get him, it is what it is. At this stage, you're always going to get one of the big boys.
They've got a wonderful balance of midfielders. I think they've got Vitinha, they've got
Yeah.
Fabian Ruiz, who's a fantastic footballer. He's got a great left foot on him. And then they have João Neves, who we saw the instrumental performance he put on at the Etihad. They've got a fantastic midfield. And then now they've got Kvaratskhelia, who comes and adds a bit of ammunition to that forward line. Bakolu's having a great season. Dembele finally injury-free. This guy's just been blighted with injuries, whether it was at Dortmund, whether it was Barca. But I think he's got 25 this season as well. And then Desire Duri, who's another product of Rene as well, who's always been in and around
Who?
French. Desire Dure. Desire Dure.
Oh, yeah.
Desire
young winger.
Dure. Desire Dure. Who's actually a midfielder, but they're playing him up top. So it's interesting how he's got, and he's not got many goals, but he's definitely a threat as well. So they've got Goncalo Ramos, who's just a goal poacher as an option as well on the bench.
Okay. The message of the night so far is certainly from Johnny B. Red. Hit the like button and show respect. I'll go one step ahead of that. Subscribe as well. Show some proper respect. And for the last 3-4 shows, we've been going live on YouTube and Twitter. There's already nearly 250 people watching on Twitter. The aim of the game is get you guys watching on Twitter who's too lazy to close that X, close Elon Musk, close Musk's app and come onto YouTube, because it helps us a lot more if you're on YouTube, and you can engage on the chat as well. But the aim of the game is to show our faces and spread ourselves across the social media platforms. And please like and subscribe. There's a big push towards 15k and then 20k. Small steps, small targets. We're only a small channel, but please help us out, and it'll be truly appreciated. There's demands of Darwin talk, but let's talk about Alexander Isak. It was the thumbnail of the show, so it's only right to bring him up straight away. I'll start with Sheen. There were some reports about the 70 million bid going towards Darwin Núñez, and then they got rebuffed by James Pearce, and now today Fabrizio Romano, who's got Saudi links, it must be stated, because he got some stick as well over the last year or two over some deals like Caicedo, which he was proven right as well, Sheen. But going back to the deal with Darwin Núñez, he came out and confirmed there was a bid of 70 to 75 million pounds, but Liverpool knocked it back because it wasn't enough time to buy a replacement. But your general thoughts about the whole deal?
Look, Alexander Isak, he's arguably the best striker in the world, and for a club like Liverpool to be linked to him, we're going to have to be willing to pay upwards of 100 plus 120, because that's the sort of numbers that you're talking. But we've seen Liverpool in the past, if they really want one player and he's worth to go all out for, we will do it. And if Alexander Isak is that man, I'm over the moon. Again, there are slight question marks in terms of his fitness, but boy, he is an unbelievable footballer and an unbelievable finisher, and somebody who just slots right in that number 9 position. Everybody's seen Alexander Isak, Asim. We've seen how good he is, the way he runs with the ball, his close control. He can beat a man, glide past a man, scores every single type of finish. We've seen the way he links up play as well, and he is the perfect number 9. If there was one, and especially right now because he's banging form. He's come to the Premier League after there was a slight tag on him that he doesn't score enough goals before he joined the Premier League. I think before he joined us, I think he had 6 or 7 goals the season prior to that. But he's proven what an unbelievable player he is. And look, if it is Alexander Isak and we're willing to go all out, I'm all in. I would be willing to go all out and spend whatever it sort of takes to get him over the line. I think a lot of it's going to depend on sales in terms of Darwin Nunes leaving and maybe one more. I have no issue with us letting two of us forwards go if it meant bringing in Alexander Isak. If you said to me right now, Jota goes for 40 million or 30 million, whatever, however much you want to call it, because of his injury record, Darwin Nunes goes for 70. Well, that's the fee that's sort of been thrown around to Saudi. That's 110 sort of million there. That covers your money for Darwin Nunes. If I'm open and honest, and if I'm playing FIFA manager, Asim, I'd sell Diaz as well, and I'd go buy Gordon. I'd take Gordon and Isak, throw the money at them. You've got two players who are just made to play for Liverpool, and everybody knows my thoughts on Gordon. Get rid of Diaz, bring in Gordon, and you're probably thinking I'm playing chat manager here, but I would do that.
Sorry to interject. Did the Anthony Gordon contract get confirmed in the end?
Yes,
I can't remember signing it. I can't remember.
He signed a contract. Yes,
officially signed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he signed. I would throw them. I just think them two would just rip it up for Liverpool. But I do think one thing that I will say, Asim, is if we're signing £120 million striker, something tells me that
something
the king something has to give, and that something is Mohamed Salah.
Head of entertainment.
I don't agree with the last bit that Gina said, that it means that Salah would have to go. I think it's a deal that we can definitely facilitate, Asim. I think if you're looking at Diaz and Darwin Nunes, it's imperative that the Saudis do come back in for them, because that's the kind of money they'll be able to pay. I think they're the only clubs who, around the world that will pay that money. I don't think Barca will fork out for Diaz. I don't think Nunes will be in high in demand. Around Europe, I'm looking at some clubs who realistically in Europe could go and get Darwin. I think Saudis, the money's there. I said it today. I put a poll up today, actually. I said if we could get 170 million for Jota, Darwin, and Diaz, would we all accept? And unanimously, it was a 90%. People said yes, they would sell all three for 170 million.
How many of your burners took part in the poll?
No burners. No burners. We don't exist. Burners don't exist. Come on. I did. So he's got 54 goals in 95 games for Newcastle, which is a great return. He was at Dortmund, gets a loan out to Sociedad, does really well there, and then gets his move to Newcastle. He has had injuries, but he's been so much better in the last, I would say, year, especially this season. He's been pretty fit. He's a cold ice finisher, Asim. He's a cold killer. That's the kind of finishing that we need at this football club. A player that can win you very important games. And with Darwin, look, it's been 3 years in. We're still asking the question. We still doubt on a one-on-one with a keeper at 70 million. Is he going to score this and that? And more often than not, we're always left disappointed that he's missed or the goalkeeper saved it. Isak puts that to bed. He's such a great finisher. He would score bagful in this Liverpool team. It's a deal that definitely can be facilitated for sure, depending on the outgoings and depending where we get interest. Like Diaz and Nunes, I'm looking at 120 million minimum for the both of them. And that facilitates Isak. It's important that Newcastle don't get into the Champions League either, because then if Isak does really kick up a fuss and wants to leave, there's more of a bargaining chip.
How much do you think it'll take to get Isak?
If they don't get Champions League football, I think 120 million does it. If they get Champions League football, I think it'll probably be a non-starter then. I don't think we'll get him. I think then it's in Newcastle's court.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of agree. So what are your thoughts on
my
Isak?
personal opinion? I think Liverpool will go for him. Edwards has previously had him on his laptop. I know what you're going to say is having him on his laptop 4 or 5 years ago is a different scenario to having him on his laptop when he's banging the goals in one of the best strikers in Europe currently. And his price tag is completely different. I've just got a feeling that Liverpool will go for him, but I think he'll want a London move, if I'm honest. I think Chelsea were trying hard for Isak. I think Chelsea would have got that deal over the line with Isak if it wasn't trying to sort that deal out. I think they were having PSR problems and stuff like that. They were trying to, like Liverpool, was sniffing around Newcastle for Gordon and the Kwanzaa deal, and then Newcastle pulled the plug. I think Chelsea were trying to do that with Isak, but they had their own PSR problems as well. So I just think I don't want to blow, and it's just an opinion, not based on anything else. I think the way how Liverpool are, they'd rather spend that money over 2-3 players, and they'll get someone like, I don't know, Anthony Gordon, maybe for 60-70 million pounds. Is that how much Anthony Gordon do you think it'll be now, or more? 80 million?
80 million. They're not going to want 80.
Okay.
Yeah, 80
Get
million.
Anthony Gordon and someone like Mbuemo, Semenyo, and that.
But they can't play that frontal position. They can't play that 9 as such.
Where's that kid? A cheaper version. What's his name? The ex PSG kid. Ezitike.
Hugo Etiquette.
Etiquette.
Yeah, he's basically a B-Tech Isak. Can trap a ball, technically gifted, can run in behind as well, and he'll cost probably a third of the price. And then Liverpool will do the research and the stats numbers will say, okay, he's played 150 games. Can we scale this guy up? They will know. I think Isak is the obvious replacement to replace Mohamed Salah's output. And he'll still won't reach those numbers that Mohamed Salah has been reaching this year. But at least you'll take a chunk of it. But obviously, can you? The question is, can you pay the 120 million? And is that Liverpool's model? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to happen, especially when you think how many other priorities there are across the team and across the squad. I can't see it. And obviously, Avi's been
But
called.
Asim, if Salah leaves, which obviously some people believe that he's a goner.
Yeah.
If Salah leaves, one of the biggest priority for Liverpool Football Club is trying to replace his output. So then
I still think we need a left-footed right winger.
But we might not go down that route. We might go for a number 9 who's going to bring you his output.
Who's going to be the long
someone on the right, isn't it?
Yeah, but you won't go and spend stupid money.
So you go get like a Mbuemo then, and then Isak.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't because you can't your number one priority if Salah leaves is somebody has to be able to take the burden of output. And 100%. If you're not, whether it be the right winger, left winger, whoever it is, there has to be somebody. And there's nobody with respect in world football right now capable of producing that number. But Isak will help a lot. So he will probably be the one that you're going to have to go and spend 120 on. Because you can't say I'm going to replace Salah with respect, Mbuemo or a Dibbling or anything like that and expect numbers. It just doesn't work. You have to buy at least one world-class player to at least try
I agree.
to manage the load.
And soften the blow, because we'll all be heartbroken.
100%.
Well, YouTube will be. Life goes on, unfortunately. No.
It's the natural hate that comes out, Avi. It's the natural hate.
It's a weird one.
As much as you try not to come out and be blamed or get labelled as a Salah hater, you can't help yourself. You cannot help yourself.
YouTube will miss him. I didn't say anything. I just said YouTube will miss him.
Asim, come final day, if Salah leaves, this guy is going to be on this show crying his eyes out, all fake tears. I know him too well, man.
Kina knows the truth. Look, hopefully it doesn't come to Salah. But even regardless, look, even if Salah does stay, we need a 9, Asim. We need a goal poacher. I know Scott talks up this Firmino facility to roll. Diaz can do it well, but ultimately you want what he's had at Feyenoord, which was a Santiago Jimenez, who's congratulating him. He's gone to the AC Milan. You need someone who's going to get us goals. And Darwin Núñez has shown yet again this season that Slot doesn't fully trust him. He's had to put Diaz in there. Jota can't be trusted because of his injuries. So these why I said the front line, there will be some kind of reset with the front line, right? And if Isak is that man, and I believe he should be. I'm not a big fan of this Hugo Etiquette, right? If we're really going to start acting like big boys, and we
how much would he be, Avi? How much would he be? You've seen more than me.
Etiquette, 60-70.
60-70, wow.
He's had a brilliant season. Look, he's had a brilliant season. You can't deny that. But for me, it's got.
How much would Openda be?
But Openda's another one. He's left or right. He's not a 9 as such. I know last season he was more often.
How much would he be?
Oh, Openda, I think 50. I believe there is a release clause on Luis Openda, 50 million. And I know he does match up well with what the previous data team liked. Nico Williams was a massive favourite of Michael Edwards back in 2022. Obviously, he's had a up and down season this season. it's been a season of learning, but he's got the pace. He's frightening. I think he needs a big move this summer. Nico Williams. He's another one that I wouldn't be surprised, boys, if links surface with Nico Williams again.
Okay.
I like this Atlanta kid though. Salah 44. Thanks, Mohammed, for coming in. What about Retegui of Atlanta? So the
I've watched him.
Argentinian kid,
Avi,
I like him. He's,
I've
he's
watched
got
him,
a bit
man.
of
I've watched
Dybala in
him.
him, but he's more of a goal
Avi,
scorer
I've
than
watched this
Dybala.
kid, man. I've watched this kid. I know he
Goal
scores
scorer,
he scores a lot of goals. He is. He's got, but I've watched this kid. What Asim, especially this flipping kid. I've watched him 4 or 5 times. Avi, he's a decent, but he's not a natural finisher. Avi,
How old is
I'm
he?
telling you, he gets you goals,
24,
and
24.
yeah, he doesn't
But
really do it
he's
for me,
brilliant
man.
with both feet. Both
And
feet.
he's got good movement. He's a hard worker. He's got a bit about him, but a better version of Barini, man.
When you listen to Slot, he wants his striker to do a bit of everything. So it's not going to be a Darwin Núñez type of profile that's just going to, go play on the shoulder. And the word that Slot has been using is a facilitator. So who's going to be a facilitator but also bag 10, 15 goals a season?
There's going to be players out there. There's players in the Premier League that sign new contracts. João Pedro, these type of players, Cunha. These are type of players that will do the link-up play and bag at the same time. Do you think he goes in for players like that and goes and spends around the 70, 80 million pound mark for somebody who's sort of proven the link-up play? Both players, I like both players. Do I think they're Liverpool quality? It's another question. But they're both really, really good players. And I get you, in terms of what the profile Slot wants. If we're gonna, but Isak works because then if Salah goes, I don't mind an Isak then, because Salah, in terms of his tracking back, it doesn't track back as much as other players do. We will have to slightly tweak our system and the way we play. But this Etiquette, I do like him, but he's gonna cost a door. I do like him,
I tell you who I like a lot now. I've been watching more and more of him, just more highlights on YouTube and whatnot. I like this Jamie Gittins. I do like him. I can understand why people would prefer him over Nico Williams as of now.
Really?
Yeah, I can understand
when I watch Gittins, and you probably watch more of him, I like my winger to be clean.
He can be langy. He can be.
I don't think Gittins. I don't think
he doesn't.
The first impression I get, I like him to be clean, and to his credit, Avi, Cody Gakpo, he's clean. He can trap a ball, and the way we're playing with a lot more control and less transitions as well. Obviously, we've been catching teams on the break. Because Liverpool, when you've got players like Trent and Salah and Szoboszlai, will always be brilliant in transition. You can't take that out of Liverpool because there's so many top players in this side. But Cody Gakpo in this environment is clean. I don't see cleanliness in Gittins, if that's a word.
I understand. He's not a refined footballer as such. I'll tell you what it is. He's very dangerous with the ball. He can take players on with ease. The other day you were mentioning, do we have a carrier in the final third? A carrier who can go on the outside and come back on the inside. He can do that.
I don't think we need that now, Avi. Diaz is your carrier in transitions. But I want someone who can stand up, because Liverpool 90% of the time will be faced with a bus. I want someone who can go on the outside and on the inside. With all due respect, I don't still think that's Cody Gakpo's strength, to go and stand up at fullback and go on the outside. He very rarely does it. How many times have we seen him cross a ball with his left foot? He's getting slightly better at it. I've seen it once or twice here and there, but not on a consistent basis. His general natural tendencies is to come inside, and he's brilliant at it, to be fair, and it's hard to stop once he gets going. But he's a player who can go either way. I think this guy, I don't think he'll be he's not showing great numbers at the moment, but isn't enough to show where he can maybe scaled up. I don't think he's probably a first team choice as well, but I think Semenyo might be a player that we knock on the door for Bournemouth. But
how old is Semenyo?
25, I think.
I don't think 25. We will be going in for him, but that's my opinion.
But I don't think it's first choice.
Why, Avi? Why don't we go in for him?
I don't think he's the profile that we're looking for, Jim.
What profile are we looking for?
I think we're looking at a very young.
I think he's a perfect profile, man.
He might be a perfect profile in terms of the way he plays, the way he carries, his speed. Look, he gave us trouble as well. That's fine. I think we're looking at a lot younger, maybe 21, 22. That's why I've said Nico Williams, Jamie Gittins. I would look at around that area. Lewis Openda, I think he's 24. He might be 25 as well, actually.
A lot of people, Gene, mentioning this lad here.
The Kettle, I like.
Oh,
He's more
hilarious.
of a few years ago. I watched him when he was breaking through. He was at that, was it Club Brugge before he went to Atalanta, and he's a really really good player. He is a clean footballer. I like the way he plays the foot. He reminds me a bit
He's
of
more
Odegaard.
deeper though. He plays more
Yeah,
deeper,
but
like in a 10, in a
yeah,
8.
yeah, he's more of a 10 or Odegaard type of player, Odegaard, Elliot type of rev. He's a really, really good footballer, man. But again, that would right now we're talking about forwards, and for me, he's not the finished article in terms of playing in the front three. I think he's more 10 stroke 8-10. That's his favoured position, and that he'd probably be an Odegaard replacement if I'm honest. But he's a good, really, really good footballer. He's got decent numbers this season as well, and last season, and he surprised me even when he played against us. He's a good player. But if I had to choose one, I go Semenyo, meaning in the sense of the fee. I want Gordon over any player, any winger, I'll be honest. But if I had to get a player, Semenyo just ticks every box for me, man. He just turned 25. So we like to get a player around that 23, 20. Now, well, previously, Avi, we've always liked a player that's hasn't hit the world class level, but has a lot of potential, is around the 23, 24-year-old mark, ready to hit the next sort of level. And I think Semenyo is one of them players that can really elevate himself to that level, especially in the way we play. Because the biggest issue, and a lot of players, people have mentioned this, is we lack pace, we lack directness in terms of a player being able to stand somebody up and go past a player. Salah doesn't do that. Diaz doesn't do it enough. Gakpo doesn't do it. Chiesa's not fit. And we don't have that profile of player, and we need somebody who's going to be good enough to go both sides and be able to go one-on-one and be able to go past his man.
I mentioned a name during the transfer bonanza and during the transfer mad crazy month. Conrad Harder, Asim. If
Conrad who?
Conrad Harder of Sporting Lisbon,
Oh,
their
yes.
line that they're trying to groom to be. Just keep an eye out on him this summer, because Isak I get, Hugo Ekitike we get, but Conrad Harder could be one of those typical Edwards signings that we get out of nowhere that blossoms to be an explosive number 9. I like him as well. He's a big talent.
Avi's Mbuemo, Liverpool class. Yes or no?
With the attributes he has, yeah, yes, he's good enough to play for Liverpool. But I don't think. Again, I think we surpass.
Is he good enough?
Yeah, he's a. If I look at profile, he fits the bill. Asim, if I look at that player in terms of a Salah replacement, a B-Tech version of it, who's actually put decent numbers up for somebody that's playing for Brentford, can he do it for Liverpool? I think if Slot wants him, I think at Liverpool he will do really good numbers. I believe he will do good numbers at Liverpool in that position. He has the character. In a way, like I said, the B-Tech Salah, he does have what Salah does. He's got all of that, but he just will he be able to do them type of numbers? I think obviously Salah's unprecedented numbers, but he will do well. I think in a slot system, Mbeumo would do decent. What do I want him is a different question.
Let me rule out 2 names now, yeah, this summer, so that we don't repeat ourselves.
No, it's not about repeating. It's about
no. It's not exclusive. But I'm telling you, Semenyo and Kianame, this player, this Bondi, what's his name, Mbuemo, Pulido.
Yeah. So who then?
We will definitely won't be going in for them. Those two. I'm just
What about I'm all up for having another Mohamed in the team.
I like Kudos, but not in a front three. Not in a front three.
Do you think he's versatile?
Where do you want him to play? Left back?
I think he's a brilliant footballer.
Where do you want him to play?
Versatility. I see him in a midfield 3, Gene, because of his carrying. Because he can be a deep line
in a 3
player in a midfield 3, yeah. But we've got so much quality
like
there. Not on the right, yeah. Come on, you can't have him on the right. He wouldn't do the numbers. He's a good player.
No, he's a good player. I do like. He's another one that's got a crazy ceiling.
What
about
where he would suit? I think where Kudos will suit. He would suit a United. He would suit a United. He's dynamic.
I don't think there's any player that suits United.
I do.
Where are you going to play him? Wing back?
I could
in
see
Amorim's
Amorim.
system.
I could see why Amorim would like a player like that in his team.
But you're right, he's got that thingy, man. Why is he gonna sign Kudus when he's got a ready-made player there that plays in? He's probably the best player in that position. Why would he? What's his name? Again, Yara.
Who?
His name is Angie.
No, you know Yara. What's
The kid.
yeah?
Who,
He scored
Ganacho?
against us, man.
No, the other
No,
one.
the other one,
Ahmad.
Rad.
Ahmad.
The perfect player. Why is he gonna want Kudos when he got Ahmad? That's a ridiculous thing to say. He suits United. I think you're just chatting balonies.
I don't think Amorim fancies Bruno Fernandes for some reason. That's my take anyway in the summer.
Avi, I don't want to talk about that.
Again, it'll be
I
interesting
think
to
it's
see
the
what.
opposite. I think he's getting
No.
accused of Portuguese bias at the moment.
No, I think Amorim will make. Well, if he stays that long, I think there'll be a decision made between him and Bruno as well. Something
I was
that
just
doesn't
about to
happen.
say we can always rely on Bilal. And big up to Bilal, my brother. Giovanni Quenda,
Yeah, he played today.
17-year-old kid.
He's too young though, Lee. Come on, he needs a
What does
proper
he
full
do?
2-3.
What does he do?
I mean, because he looks at FIFA and starts putting players' names up like Giovanni Coenda. He's 17. How are we going to get him this summer? He needs about 2 years in the Portuguese league. Absolutely nonsense, man.
No.
Don't
But
waste-
you know, you
Look,
tell me.
if you
Have you
don't know
watched
how-
him? Have you
He's
watched
not going to
him?
be a first team player now, is he?
Have
We're
you
talking about
watched him?
Salah replacements, and he wants to bring in Giovanni's dad, Coenda. Please.
Sammy says
By the
Quenda's
way,
United.
guys, and Avi, that's Avi's mate, so he's allowed to be like this. Just wanted to say
Semenyo
that.
and Boemo, Asim, I know you like Semenyo, and I know you've said a few things on Twitter.
No, I'm still a bit skeptical about Semenyo being first choice. But if you've got the likes of Diaz and Jota leaving the club, we need someone who can actually push the front three. And I like Semenyo because I think we do lack that 1v1 threat in the team.
Gene, wouldn't Osimhen be a good option if Isaac was unattainable?
I would love Victor Osimhen. I would love Osimhen. Bro, honestly, 60, 70 million, whatever it costs, pay the money for Osimhen. Osimhen will get you 30 plus. You get off Osimhen, he gets you 30 plus. A proper number 9 striker, man, and he's a pain in the ass.
Okay. Let's park that. I think we've talked about enough. We've been
Wait,
going
hold on. No,
around.
I haven't finished yet. Billy, we're not saying we know he's a good talent. He's a big talent. He's a prospect. But yeah, we're talking about this summer. You're not going to bring him in at 17 at Liverpool, are you? And start replacing Salah's numbers. Come on.
Okay, let's go to the other side of the pitch. We've talked about enough about goal scorers. If anything, Liverpool should prioritize in the defensive line. Never replace Matip. There's a question mark of Kanate's fitness.
Right. Is this
Question mark. You know I'm coming. You know I'm coming, Gene. You have to give this lad his flowers today. He's head of entertainment. He's head of analytics.
I knew this was happening, man. This game. I don't know how this flipper guesses it.
Today
No
we have
game, right,
seen
man.
some links about Dean Huijsen. Have I pronounced that right, Avi? Huijsen? Huijsen,
Very
the
good.
kid.
Very good. Very good.
A ball playing centre back. I'm always a bit skeptical if he can play on the halfway line, but he's still got time to develop. Obviously, I think he's only 19. He's had a really good season this year, but we've seen some links. And also, I think Avi mentioned it that there is a release clause that is tempting Liverpool. And Liverpool do think that is reasonable. I think £55 million, if I
actually
remember
thought,
correctly.
I'm not going to lie, I did, when I did mention it last month, I did say, I thought it was less than that, but 55 it is. And I said, that's why we are very, very interested in the young lad. I know he's 19, but he's showing leadership qualities.
Can I give you your flowers now? I have to look. Normally, I give this guy a lot of shit and abuse, yeah, because I think he's an ITK who talks a lot of shit. But I've always said, if you get something right, you mentioned that we were in for Huijsen a month ago, and
we moved away from Curtis.
You said that, and to be fair, I have to give you. And even in that show, I said I really want this kid. If we can bring this kid in for whatever it costs, if there's a release clause of 55 million, that will be fantastic business, because we really have. You know, if United have paid, 40 million for what's his name, that player that they just bought that we didn't, and we get this kid for an extra 10-15 million who's already played in the Premier League, who's already played a year in the Premier League. This kid's ceiling is mental, and I mean,
Gene, for me, when I watch him, he's only got one position that he can play in. So if he comes in, he's going to play understudy to Van Dijk. He can't play left back. He can't play right back. He can't play right centre back. Is left centre back. So he's going to be an understudy to Van Dijk, and that's okay, isn't it? Learn from the master and then
100%,
take
Asim.
over.
This is exactly what we should have done. Like we did with the goalkeeper, Alisson. The next bet, we have to start looking at sort of replacements. And if Hoyson comes in and he's going to be the Van Dijk replacement, that's who we've earmarked, then I'm all for it, because that is probably that and that winger position, right winger position, is going to be the hardest to replace. So, but we are going to have to start making some sort of contingency plans. And if Liverpool have earmarked this player, I'm all in. I really am all in for this player. I'll be if Liverpool said this guy is the man that we want to take over the mantle for Van Dijk, be an understudy for the year or two, hopefully, it makes perfect sense. He's a fantastic passer of the ball. People are mentioning his both feet. Every time he's assured he can head the ball, 6'5". He has the frame that in a few years' time, this guy will be a brick of a centre back. Slightly not the quickest from what I've seen. I don't know his exact speeds, Asim. You probably know better.
No, I don't.
But but he's a really, really good footballer, and that will come. And because the Van Dijk position, Asim, is probably one of the hardest positions to replace. And Liverpool and Edwards and these guys will know that. So if they're future planning on that position, like with Mama, they did, and I was happy with Mama for Alisson. If Hoyson's the Van Dijk, okay, TK, we're good with it. Let's go.
I think it's why it's important that we pin Van Dijk down. That's why we need to pin him down, because someone like Dean Huijsen, you don't want him coming as first choice. You want him to learn his stewardship, under someone like Van Dijk and Konate for the first 18 months, and then really make a go of it as a first team player. By then, Van Dijk, we're talking 35, 36 maybe. That's why it's imperative that we tie down Van Dijk, and then you've got this young lad who will learn from Konate and Van Dijk. And at the same time, he's Dutch, he'll speak Dutch. I know he represents Spain as the national team, but he'll learn his position, and he'll be ready. He'll be primed at 21 to take over the reins of Virgil van Dijk if he decides to leave the football club.
Avi, do you see Liverpool going for someone like Hato and Hoyson?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you guys know my thoughts. I've said Hato's done. I know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna bullshit about that. Hato, I told you this before. I've said it. Jarell Hato's a Liverpool player in the summer.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow? Guy talks a lot of shit all the time. Wow.
Shall we? We're doing a giveaway tomorrow.
I'm joking with you. I'm joking. I gave you your flowers 5 minutes ago. I gave you your flowers. I'm joking. Can I not have a joke with you here and there? I know you talk shit, but sometimes you talk sense.
We're doing a giveaway tomorrow. Can we put Hato on the back of the T-shirt that we're giving away?
Wait for an announcement soon. I think we'll get an announcement soon. Yeah, but one of those ones, like Konate in 2021, we'll get an announcement soon. And guys, that's not new news, by the way. Hato, yeah. Let's just wait on the club, isn't it?
Okay, is that enough of transfer talk? Should we go? It's a small matter of a Merseyside.
Sudakov. I'll keep saying his name every show. Georgiou Sudakov. Just keep an eye out on that, because with a few midfield departures, Sudakov could be the one. Yeah, that's it pretty much. I love this kid. I love Kieran Yusuf Morrison. I absolutely love this kid. I think he's going to be brilliant. He's going to be dynamite. Scored again yesterday as well.
On Kieran Morrison. Okay. Anything else, Gene, on transfer talk? Nothing?
He's the one that's got the bloody gadget, man. He's the one that tell you with the transfer talk. But I think
it's turned off. Imagine when
it's all turned off. It's all turned off.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to Asim Ahmed. I do want to cover this because I tweeted something, the same thing. I just copied and pasted it. Guys, on a positive note, last time Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs didn't make the fifth round of the FA Cup. Liverpool went on to do the League and European Cup in 1984. Not only that, they won the League Cup as well. They did a treble that season under Joe Fagan, and people didn't expect Joe Fagan to take over in '84. But there you have it. So the omens are good.
Avi, it's a small matter of Merseyside derby. Is it the biggest game of the season so far for us?
In terms of context, yeah, it is. In terms of what it means tomorrow winning, yes. 9 points would be a lot, Asim, for Arsenal to catch up with 14 to go. Last game at Goodison Park, Everton, And the fairy tale is Moyes is back, isn't it, for them? So obviously
Mm,
they'll be looking at omens as well and premonitions and whatnot. But it's a game that, listen, we just got to go about our business, get the 3 points, wish Goodison Park well, take a bit of grass if the players want to as memorabilia, and just open up that 9 point lead. Because once you've opened up a 9 point lead against Arsenal, who supposedly were the best team in the Premier League at the start of the season, along with City, um, once we open up that 9 point lead, it's a tough task. It's a tall order, especially if Arsenal are still crying about new injuries. I think today they said Havertz is out. So it's a big game. Arne
yeah.
Slot this will be different for Arne Slot because I know he's been to ugly grounds like the Forest Ground, Plymouth on the weekend. But tomorrow's atmosphere will be electric, considering
Wow.
it's the last game. This last game at Goodison Park.
Gene, how do you see the game going? I, I think if we get the first goal, it could be 3-0. If they get the goal, it's going to be backs against the wall. They're going to put 5 at the back, 6 at the back, and it might turn out to be. It's going to be a Nottingham Forest type of performance from Everton. Anyway, they can't play football with us, but it's about those opportunities. And I think Slot mentioned in the press conference today, Gene, that he watched the last year's game, and in the first 10 minutes, Liverpool conceded about 1 million free kicks. We cannot simply make the same mistake because we're playing into their hands.
100%. We just got to turn up and play football, and we have to play the game and not the occasion. Obviously, they're going to be buoyed up with such a huge game, final game at Goodison. You know, it'll be an evening game under the lights. They'll be up for it, and but we have to be up for it. The biggest thing that I can say about this is we win the game. We're 9 clear. That 9 point gap, it looks like a monumental 9 points. If there's any for the teams like Arsenal, because they're going to look up and see 9. It's a completely different kettle of fish. I just hope that we can get it over done. This is the game that I think Arsenal fans earmarked as well as the game that where Liverpool will drop points. They could drop points. It's one of their biggest games. So if we get this over the line, I think the psychological advantage that this gives us going into the next game against Wolves at home is massive. Inshallah, you know, we hopefully put Wolves to bed as well. If we get 6 from the next 2, I know it's only you should only concentrate on your next game, but if we get 6 from the next 2, I think Arsenal drop in the next 2, and then it's
Well,
complete
Arsenal have
curtains.
got Leicester away on Saturday, which so they'll win that, Gene. And then I'm just looking at the next fixture. I think is it United away, isn't it? No, they don't have United actually. My bad. Okay, they don't have a game. So we play before them. We play City, I believe, before they do that. If I'm not mistaken. I don't
They
see
have
any.
do they have Bournemouth? Do they not have Bournemouth or something? That when we
No.
have
Oh,
City.
sorry, they've got West Ham. They've got Leicester and West Ham next.
Yeah.
One away and then one home against West Ham. I think they'll take 6
All right,
points.
fair. But I think look, the psychological advantage 9 points it gives you, Asim, is monumental. We just have to make sure that tomorrow we put that game to bed. And it's gonna. And you're right. I think the first goal is huge, and I think if we get the first goal, we will be in complete control of this game. And even if we look at that game against, you mentioned the Forest game, we were in control. We should have won that game.
Yeah.
The way we controlled it. So it just goes to show that we can turn up to occasions like this and put in a really good performance. And we just got to make sure that we don't give anything stupid, especially in the first 20. We simply can't give them any hope or any chance. Give them a sniff and they'll take it. And you know, we know that they're a pain in the ass when it concerns set pieces and all that type of stuff. So just let's get this over the line tomorrow, man. But it's gonna be a tough game.
If we win tomorrow, Asim,
Mm.
Arsenal they need to win the next, I think, 8, 9 on the trot. They cannot slip up from here. If we win tomorrow, if we open up a 9 point lead, Arsenal need to go on a run, 8, 9. They haven't got it in them. They haven't got it in. They haven't done it all season. So it doesn't make all of a sudden it's not going to happen with all the injuries that they have. And yes, I know Saka's coming back in the next few weeks and whatnot, but you know how 100% believe you. And you know, hoping for his sake they haven't rushed it. They will need to be perfect in the next 7, 8 games. I just don't see it. I just don't see it at all. And I think Kieran Dawn said Saturday's Leicester game will be easy for them. I get it because I've just seen the table and I think Leicester on 19 points. It's make or break for them as well. So hopefully Rude can do can work his magic a little bit at Leicester and get a result in our
Yeah,
favour.
yeah, 100%. Another Bilal's comment: 300 house in the house. I think that's only on YouTube and not even 100 likes. What is wrong with some people?
Oh,
There's
no.
over 1,200 people on Twitter as well. So make the jump and smash a like as well. Show
Sure.
how the YouTube viewers how it's done. Let's go to the team. If
No,
you go
what's
to
wrong with people, if they're watching it on Twitter, why don't they just cross over to YouTube and just like and subscribe? Like, how
I
simple is
agree.
it?
I agree.
I'm dumb. I wouldn't know how to do it, but you lot on
It's
Twitter.
not
If
rocket
there's,
science. You just fucking close the app and you
if
go
there's
head over to
1100
YouTube.
watching on Twitter, you just cross over. Even there's an option saying open app. Just like and subscribe to us. We're not giving you this for nothing, you know. Anyway, sorry, Asim. Carry
I like that.
I
passion,
mean, going
Avi.
on the one today. Relax,
I
man.
like that
Relax.
passion.
They'll do it.
on.
They'll do it, man. They'll do
Someone
it.
who's
Relax.
unpar like me, non-educated, I wouldn't know how to do it. But there's people that are far more clever than I am on Twitter that just know how to cross over, man. That's all it is, a crossover.
They will cross
Crossover.
over. Give them time, man. They'll cross over. Relax. They obviously got to like the content.
What
I
do you
mean,
want?
they'll watch us a few times. They'll like the content and they'll cross over. Just chill, man.
A few more exclusives and they'll make it make the crossover. Avi, let's go to the team. These days there are one or two changes because the games come thick and fast. Alisson obviously plays. Let's go to the right back. Obviously a question mark on Trent. I think he's nailed on to play Bradley in that position because I think it gave it away because I think Bradley would have got a rest anyway, but it was more important to give him a rest on the weekend, especially with the situation that's concerning Trent. But Bradley, right back for you?
Yeah, because you know what? I think these are the kind of game we need a bit of aggression. Last year, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
Trent at Goodison Park last season, did he play
He
the
had
away
a
game?
shocker.
This is what I'm trying to say.
To be fair, they all
He
had
had a shot. Yeah, to be
No,
fair,
but
they
he
did.
did balls
But
out
he
a few
was
times.
Ibu,
abysmal.
that's the worst game I've seen Ibu play. I don't think
He
he was
was.
fit. Yeah, didn't have rhythm.
But he had
I
a
was
Brentford
doing
game
it.
last season as well. Brentford,
Calvert
but they-
Lewin, he made Calvert Lewin look like Maradona. Honestly, it was ridiculous. Ibu couldn't jump, couldn't do anything on that night. But Bradley, for you?
Bradley for me because the aggression, he'll go up and down. He'll give it his all. And I think tomorrow we need like a local lad. I mean, I know Everton have got a few.
Yeah, that's what Trent is.
I know Trent is, but Trent hasn't. I've never seen Trent have that sort of aggression like a Conor Bradley has. And Conor Bradley can keep his temperament as well. He keeps himself in check. We saw it in the League Cup final last season against Chilwell when Chilwell tried riling him up. I would love Bradley in there. Konate, Van Dijk, 100%. And then Robbo. Robbo does the same. I think Robbo will have a top game again. And fair credit to Robbo in recent weeks. He's showing a bit of form against him.
I mean, Gene, I like the term that Slot came out with today. He said, "Cool heads, but not cool legs." And I think that's what Conor Bradley is, and
100.
he's going to be tomorrow night.
He's gonna have to be because it's gonna be there. He's up against that NDI, and that NDI is a really
Decent
good
player,
footballer.
yeah.
He's their best player. He's the one that makes things happen. He's a tricky player, can go both sides. I was actually quite impressed with him a few times that I've seen him. So Bradley will be up against it. This is one of the reasons why I know we shouldn't, play into the opposition's hands with Trent. But if Trent's just come back from an injury, we don't need to risk him in this game. There are plenty of other games that Trent can play in, and Bradley's played well in that position over the last few games. It'll be a game that's we're gonna need aggression, a play that's gonna be up and down, and Bradley gives us that. And he's been playing well, so I think up against Endai, it makes sense to not take any chances. But what you mentioned with what Slot said, that's him 100%. If we're going to need the legs in that midfield, Gravenberg, Soboslai, and McAllister have to take hold of that midfield and begin to pull the strings. I think my only little, not doubt, but issue is who's going to play up top. I think there's a lot of calls for Darwin to start. I would go with him. On a personal note, I would go with Darwin tomorrow. He's played well enough in the last few games. Jota, I just don't want. I think we need a bit of presence up there against this side. And yes, Jota's just come back from injury. I don't want to see Diaz there. I don't want to see Diaz in that position tomorrow, Sim. I really don't want to see Diaz in that position. Diaz's numbers have, and I think we saw stats about his numbers over since the turn of the year, and they don't look good reading.
As far as I know, because I was going to come to the Darwin question, because everyone's been talking about we need passion, we need intensity. As far as I know, and this is not 100% news, but as far as I know, Darwin didn't train today. He didn't train. So I think he might have been given a few days off because of the birth of his. Did she have a baby boy or a baby girl? Was it a little Darwin? The world needs more Darwins.
Darwin, isn't it? You don't know whether it's male or female. It was definitely a little Darwin, isn't it? We just don't know whether it's female or male.
Yeah, but if it's a boy, it's a proper little Darwin, isn't it?
Darwin Jr.
I wasn't trying to
Quick one,
imply that you've been playing away for fuck's sake.
but I've got an exclusive tomorrow, Asim.
Huh?
I've got an exclusive for tomorrow.
Shall I give you an exclusive?
Now, can I give no? We've seen your exclusives with your flags. And stuff.
Okay, fine.
Luis Diaz starts tomorrow. Centrally in a 9. And Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right. That's what's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay.
And whenever
I think there's more possibility.
whenever I've tweeted a player starts, I've got 100% record so far. So.
Avi, why are you jinxing it then?
You
Why do you jinx everything you do? You win 8 out of 8 once in a transfer window for the wrong reasons.
I'm not jinxing the result.
Please, Avi, man. Please, don't talk. Oh, I've got these right. You get a lot wrong. We just don't bring them up.
Diaz is starting tomorrow.
Okay. Anyway, Asim, he was saying Asim.
Forget his
if you forget his exclusive. I want your exclusive. Forget his. He makes exclusive of the week.
I was only having a laugh. There's no exclusive.
I think the game. I think a Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. I think we'll blow them away, Asim.
But if you had a choice between Darwin and Diaz, are you just saying are you thinking Slot will start Diaz, or if you had a choice, you still go with Diaz?
If it was my choice, Diaz, because Darwin last season at Goodison Park, I'll never fucking forgive that putter. I'll never forgive him for what he did last season. The 2 chances that he missed.
Give him an opportunity for a bit of redemption.
He got his opportunity against Plymouth Argyle. No, we can't keep saying Darwin.
The guy came off the bench here. Why are you going to... Wait, out of all the players against Plymouth Argyle, this guy goes for Darwin Núñez, a guy that came off the bench. Yeah, this is what I mean. This guy talks nonsense at times.
No, Núñez
he's just Emmy. He just came up with it. Emmy. Let's blame Darwin for Plymouth. Man comes off the bench and he's blaming Darwin.
Avi, just sticking with Diaz.
I think James Tarkowski and that Branthwaite, they'll have an easy day with Núñez. He won't trouble them. Diaz will keep asking the question. Last season they were very comfortable with Darwin there. With Diaz,
no. They weren't comfortable. Darwin kept on getting in. Yes, he didn't score, but that's not Tarkowski or Brathwaite, is it?
Thank you, Valavel. Thank you.
That's not Brathwaite. I think if anything, Darwin does stretch the opposition. That's one. Even the Darwin haters, the biggest of Darwin haters will actually admit that he does stretch the opposition. So, do you think everything is going to be the likes of Brathwaite and Tarkowski? They don't mind Diaz just floating about. Everything's in front of them.
No,
Avi, here's something for you. In that 9 position that you're talking about.
But it's obviously but Slot fancies him, doesn't he, Chief? So who are you to take?
I'm not saying. I'm not. See, this is the problem with him. This is the why. I'm just saying the guy that don't know. In that position recently, there's a couple of games at the start where when it was new and it worked. But recently, Avi, when I see that Luis Diaz play in that 9, how many times have we said that this isn't working? I think Kieran mentioned it in his last. Kieran mentioned it. Yeah, Avi going to down the hill with Luis Diaz. It doesn't work with Diaz in the false 9. Yes, we might have a bit of control, and some games it works. But if I'm honest, Asim, the majority of times that he's played there, would you say that it's been a success? Any of you can say to me today that in Diaz playing there, has he been a success?
It's only been 5 months since he's been in that position.
Yes, but what I'm saying, has it been a success? No.
Was it against Leverkusen where they had the first time?
That was the first game, and he did well in that game. I'll give him credit for that. That's the one game. That's the one game. But that was the first game that he did well. There's a couple of games after that where I thought he did okay as well, if I'm honest. But recently, the guy, bro, he's got really worse stats than Darwin Núñez.
But Gene, do you think there is a bit of Szoboszlai here where people are just looking at the output and not looking at the work rate and how he floats around from left to right into the middle, going into the pockets and creating situations for us, Do you think his
you know what? All our players are going to do that then. Szoboszlai is going to do that. Darwin Núñez is going to do that. Yeah, one player. Your number 9 doesn't have to always go and do that. You want your number 9 to at least do something. Come on, yeah. Otherwise, we might as well play Darwin Núñez. Sometimes you got TK to do a lot of running. Bobby Firmino did a lot of running around. He did everything. But he got goals and assists as the 2 at the same time. This guy's gone really 9 games without goals and assists in that 9 position.
Bobby went about 20 games without scoring at Anfield.
Bobby was different, man. Bobby gave us Bro, with all due respect, Luis Diaz is Bobby Firmino's left ball is better than Luis Diaz. With respect, yeah. So please, let's go. There's a
Diaz
context.
always shows up in the
That I
big
give
games.
you.
We
Huh?
know that Diaz this season has turned up in the Man City home game. He got the penalty. Showed up against Leverkusen at home. Madrid at home, he played really well. He scored away to United. He's always shown up in the big games. Tomorrow, Luis Diaz is who stock will go with.
I wish he does. I really hope he does. But ideally, I want that tomorrow. I just want Darwin to start. I
For
want us
what
to give
reason?
Darwin.
Where's the evidence that you want Darwin to
Because
start?
I'll tell you why. Number one, I think we need a bit of
6 goals in
physicality today. He's
28
gonna give
games
us a
this
bit
season.
more.
He's got
Son
6
and
goals in
Ayara.
28.
And Diaz has got how many in the Premier
He has
League?
got 13 in 33.
This season.
In the
13
Premier
goals.
League.
13 goals.
In the
all
Premier
competitions.
League.
In all competitions. He's got 9 or
Yeah,
something
but
in the
still,
Premier League.
still, with respect, that I'll be honest, Avi. With respect, I want more from him. That's not enough.
Of course. Look, I'm
Avi,
ready to
that's not
tell
in.
you, as
Don't be saying
I've
to me,
said,
don't come up with stats like 13 and 33 to me and say, boy, look at these stats. It's 30 stats, with respect. That those stats come to me. Yes, you know what? Sarib's in the comments. He used to give us a lot of stuff about Cody Gakpo. I'll give him credit. The guy turned up this season and provided me with numbers. He's given us real output. Where Diaz had a decent start, decent numbers, so it's gone back to sleep with numbers. I get the working and all that type of
would
stuff. I
we
get
not
all
play
of that.
Gene?
But
Would we not
bro,
play
need
Gene?
output, mate.
Gene, would we not play Jota tomorrow? At all?
I think he will risk Jota in terms of his injury, Avi. I just
I
don't
don't.
think
I
he
don't.
risks
I don't
him,
think.
especially against Everton. No chance. And Jota didn't exactly fight against Wickham, did it? Sorry, against Plymouth, did it?
He scored some good goals against Everton, though, in recent years.
I don't think he's fit, Avi. I think it's gonna be a really intense game. As much as Liverpool will try to control it, unless we get a goal in the first 5 minutes, and the crowd will just go quiet straight away. But they're gonna try to make it ugly. Some challenges will go in, and that's why Slot is saying you want cool heads but not cool legs, because there will be opportunities.
Maybe
where
that's why
Liverpool
Diaz might start then, Asim.
cannot back out. But in saying that, Gene,
Chupo again.
in saying
Maybe,
that,
because Asim
Nunes
mentioned
is
that
not
when he
backing
wants.
out a tackle.
Eh? Oh, Nunes
Nunes is
doesn't
not-
back out, no tackle, mate. One thing with Darwin Nunes is he will work his socks off in terms of what he did, especially in the last game. We saw Darwin Nunes' numbers. I know them stupid idiots had him playing DM the game after, but I, for one, he will be the perfect player in that position to give us the hard work, to give us the tracking back, to give us all of that. Darwin will give us. Okay, might not get you a goal here and there, but he'll do more in terms of the final third than Luis Diaz has done recently.
To be honest with you, Avi, there's a case for Diaz starting, and there's a case
This would-
for thingy. But if I'm really honest, I would prefer Diaz starting. Why? Because I think they'll be organized and we'll try to win the game. Look, we could easily win the game 3-0, 4-0. Nobody will be surprised. But I think Darwin Nunes and Trent, I think Trent might be on the bench tomorrow, will have a similar impact how Trent had against Newcastle, where there's a bit more space, where there's a few tired legs, even though they'll have a low block, and we'll pick them off. And you need Darwin Nunes to stretch the game when they're a bit tired.
That's a fair point, but Diaz, like Gina said, he owes us a game. And tomorrow,
He does always a game. He owes us a game where he needs to produce them. And I hope you're right. I really wish that if he does go with him, he just he does the hard bit right. I get the hard work, the link up play, all of that. He does that really well. And you can help out on both sides. He's confident in both wide areas, but there has to be some sort of help in terms of the output. And he has to be able to increase his output. And I hope it's tomorrow. I really do hope that he manages to bag something tomorrow. If he does start.
Guys,
I've got to go, Asim. Asim, I have to go. I've got to go. I just realised.
Give me a prediction tomorrow before you go.
Liverpool win 2-1. Mohamed Salah, 90th minute winner.
Does Diaz go? Does Diaz
start this?
Does Diaz go?
Huh?
Does Diaz go?
Darwin Nunes scores. Bigger boys. I'll see you later on.
See you later,
Second minute, bye.
We're going to wrap up as well, Avi. Before we go, give me your prediction.
3-0 Liverpool.
Is that with your heart or with your mind?
Both.
3-0.
Yeah, I think we'll put him away tomorrow. After watching him in the cup against Bournemouth, I think we'll put him.
Bob says 5-0. Darwin 3 and Salah 2.
I don't think it's
Um,
a game that we should be worried about. I think tomorrow the rest will do wonders for Gravenberch, McAllister, Sabosalai. I think tomorrow, I think we take him to the sword. Asim.
Abid's in the house. He says, "Well done for wrapping up." Oh my god. He's our in-house ref, by the way. Who is the ref, by the way, tomorrow? He needs to be a strong ref,
No,
Abby.
no, Sarib saying Gakpo is scoring. Guys, make sure you guys have subscribed to Sarib's channel, Sarib K. So
100%.
make sure you head over to his channel and give him a subscribe as well. And watch his. I'm pretty sure he's going to do a pre-match preview as well on his channel. So guys, give him the same love that you give us. So thanks.
100%.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you asking tomorrow prediction?
I
Are you
think
going to the game tomorrow?
I don't know. I'll make a decision around about 1, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
I think they'll score, but I think we'll score 3 as well. 3-1 for me.
Scorers. Oh no, I know. Mohammed is one, of course.
Obviously,
A brace tomorrow for Mohammed.
no. I'm going for the Cody Gakpo brace tomorrow.
Brace. Wow. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
Mohammed always gets extra attention. I think he'll get a goal and assist, but I'm going for the Cody Gakpo. And why would you go against Cody Gakpo's form at the moment?
Scintillating.
Every time, Avi, I watch inside Anfield, and we've been talking about all his ball striking ability all season. And since he's come, if we're honest, it's either Szoboszlai or Cody Gakpo every single training session that you think, wow, ball striking ability, outside the box, inside the box, left, right, variation in their finishes, and just consistency, man. And I think we'll get in behind them. The problem Everton will have is if they do come out and the crowd gets behind them and stuff like that, there will be gaps. And this is one of the reasons why you always need Trent, I think, because you don't have to build an attack all the time with someone like Trent. Bradley's I think they'll park a bus and Bradley will play that role down the right-hand channel. But the likes of Bradley and the Szoboszlai, I think we'll have too much for them, too much movement, too much fluidity, and we'll find the gaps eventually. And even if we're 0-0, it's you have to make sure we penetrate their defenses. How many times have we seen the big teams, Manchester City, Man United, even in the 90s? It's not luck winning the game in the last 10, 15 minutes. When their legs have gone, the quality comes through. And I'd take any sort of win tomorrow, Avi. We just have to win. We've been hearing about this game in hand for years upon years now. We just need to play it and get it home and do it.
I just hope it's not raining tomorrow. So I hope it's dry tomorrow. I don't want it to be a rainy affair tomorrow. I don't want the weather to be wet. I want it to be dry because we struggle a little bit when the weather's been a bit off key this season, especially Liverpool. So got to make sure the weather's nice and dry tomorrow at least.
Nice and dry. Okay, people, there's still nearly 1,700 people. So if you're on Twitter, head over. You don't watch us, that's fine. Just subscribe to the channel. You don't have to watch us on YouTube if that's what you want. But big up to all the people watching us tonight. We're really humbled by all the people watching us recently. And the numbers are increasing, but we want the subscriptions to increase as well. But thank you very much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, Avi, for a post-match.
I believe it will be, yeah. From the office chair tomorrow. From the office chair.
Brilliant. Let's get the blue and white shite tomorrow. We'll catch you tomorrow for the post-match. Take care and have a good night. Bye-bye for now.